are you feeling now that you know that it's official?
I don't know if I would call it relief. I think it's a heightened responsibility on my part now that everything is pretty set. For week one, I am the starter, so it's my job to get these guys right on the offense and just try to lead this team.
How does it feel different than the first time you were told, when you were told 2 years ago?
Like I said, it's just a heightened responsibility. 2012, I think it was more kind of the first time around in things. You feel kind of accomplished. I think in this sense, I feel a little bit accomplished as well. But like I said, I understand the job and the task at hand, what I have to do next.
Did you ever doubt that you'd be named the starter?
I don't think I prepared like a backup. I would say that. So I try to prepare the best way I could and prepare every day like the starter.
Does having the job allow you to approach practice or the way you talk with the team and run the huddle differently now?
No, I think that's one of the things that Coach Kelly kind of saw in me that allowed me to, or for him to make that decision, was just my control of the huddle, just holding each other accountable amongst my teammates. I think those things that I embody already just kind of allowed him to make that decision a little bit more.
What and when did Coach Kelly tell you and let you know you'd be the starter?
He told me Monday. Might have been Monday. Told me Monday. And like I said, it's you initially. Obviously, you feel that sense of kind of accomplishment, but at the same time, like I said before, it's just that you got to go to work now. I have to do my best to prepare for Rice in week one. One thing we saw is that job is not something solid. You come out and play bad week one, it's up for grabs. You got to know that going into it. So I think like I said, I just got to do the best to prepare.
Did you get a visor this time around?
Yeah, I've been wearing a visor.
Isn't that how he let you know a couple of years ago?
What's that?
Isn't that how he let you know a couple of years ago?
Yeah, he did say that when I got my first start, when I was named the starter, I got a visor. But ever since then, I kind of had a visor. I don't think that really factored into it.
Everett, did you feel the need to talk to Malik about the decision, or is that kind of not what your relationship's like?
I think it. I will talk. I have not talked to him yet. To be honest, I will talk to him about that. I think me and Malik do have that relationship where I can go to him and talk to him about things, and we kind of handle it amongst ourselves rather than having it come down from Coach Kelly and things like that.
Everett, a couple of years ago, it wasn't until the second month where you started becoming more of a factor as a runner. There's been so much talk about you working with George. How much more comfortable do you feel as a runner, running the zone read and everything else in this game? Because Coach Kelly said it's going to be used.
Yeah, I think running was a little bit different from what I was used to. Coming out of high school, I was a passer. Didn't really run the ball too much, and then it was kind of implemented and I guess expected of me to run in 2012. Now I'm getting more comfortable with that, and I'm becoming more of a dual threat quarterback in that sense.
Everett, what's been the most difficult part of the process from spring until now in terms of getting to this point?
As far as
just getting better or the waiting, what was the most difficult thing that you had to do over the summer to put yourself in this position?
What was the most difficult? I don't know. I think my mindset was just to try to get better every day. You come out the spring. Obviously, I didn't have a good spring game, spring game that I wanted to have, but my motive was just try to get better every day, and really become more of a leader, and really take control of this offense, really. And so I knew that once I achieved that, I would put myself in a position to be the starter.
Everett, going on on that a little bit? Just, can you put in perspective to be at this point, from where you were 18 months ago or so, to come this full journey to be back to being the starting quarterback, and what that's meant to you through everything?
Well, I think in that regard, it is an accomplishment. Knowing, everything that has, transpired from me getting suspended to me coming back, and battling with Malik, for a while there. It is a sense of accomplishment. But I think my mind is so set on, moving forward and, what's next, that I'm like I said, I'm just trying to get ready for week 1 and prepare to the best of my ability.
Everett, Coach Kelly said your leadership was one of the factors in his decision. How much more assertive are you now than you were 2 years ago, and how does being older make you feel?
Yeah, I think, it works. I don't want to say it works wonders, but I mean, I think me taking that responsibility as, one of the senior leaders, I take that responsibility that this is my team, and I'm responsible for the actions or the performance of our team. So I think in 2012, we had guys that Zach Martin, Manti, those guys. That was hard for me to, crack into that, top level. Being that I was young, it was my first time around. So 2 years later, it's just completely different. I mean, it's really, 180 in that respect.
Everett, do you feel like you're a different leader than even in the spring when you got back?
And that comes from preparation, just knowing more. I think in the spring, a lot of things were moving around. You had new defensive coordinator come in, throwing at new defense and new blitzes, things like that. Also had a new quarterback coach come in, so that was something different for me too. So I think after the spring is when I really kind of went back to the film room and was working with Coach LaFleur and those guys, and really just honed into what we were trying to do with this offense. I think now I'm in a position to kind of hold everybody else responsible because I'm comfortable in what I'm supposed to do.
And how critical was summer in that development? Because that's when the coaches aren't really around.
Right. I think one of the times that was very important for me was just 7-on-7. To be honest, coordinating 7-on-7s just amongst the players because I was out there leading them along with some of the other guys, but just really trying to have effective 7-on-7s and having the defense giving us good looks, having the receivers run things right. I think that's what really heightened my my leadership, I would say.
Everett, when you first came back to Notre Dame, I think most people outside the building at least assumed this day would come, you'd be named starter. Pat, to getting there, was it more difficult than you envisioned? I mean, how much did Malik and everyone really push you?
Malik is a tremendous quarterback. And I think when he does get on the field, he's going to shine. So I think, it was very, very tight, I would say. And it was a close competition. But like I said, I've always said it before, I'm confident in my ability. The competitor in me wants to win. That's kind of what it is.
Anything else? Very good. Thanks, everybody.